She walked in thinking it was a peace talk.
And I finally sat down with Erika Kirk, and I'll be the first to admit I walked in there with my guard down. But make no mistake, this was not what I expected. The entire dynamic was orchestrated to blindside me. It became very clear very quickly that I hadn't just walked into a meeting, I had walked straight into a...
But what Erika Kirk allegedly did next, nobody saw this coming.
Come after me, call me names, I don't care. Call me what you want, go down that rabbit hole, whatever. But when you go after my family, my Turning Point USA family, my Charlie Kirk Show family, when you go after the people that I love, and you're making hundreds and thousands of dollars every single episode going after the people that I love because somehow they're in on this, no.
That's not grief. That's damage control. And now sources are claiming that during their so-called private meeting, Erika allegedly slid a financial offer across the table, a bribe, hoping to silence Candace Owens once and for all.
I went ahead this week and sent around a life insurance policy of sorts, a package rather, to people that I trust, a package filled with text messages, emails, private communications, videos, and private legal documents. So if anything happens to me, you guys will know exactly who it is.
But here's what nobody expected. Candace didn't just say no. She allegedly humiliated Erika on the spot, and then she kicked her off her own podcast. This is about to get messy. Let's get into it. Now, if you've been following the absolute chaos between Candace Owens and Erika Kirk, you already know that these two have been circling each other like predators, waiting for the other one to slip. But what you might not know is just how calculated this entire situation has been from the very beginning. Let's rewind real quick. After Charlie Kirk's sudden and tragic passing, Candace Owens didn't do what everyone expected. She didn't fall in line. She didn't go along with the official narrative. Instead, she started asking questions, hard questions, the kind of questions that made powerful people very, very uncomfortable. And at the center of all those questions, Erika Kirk. Now, at first, Candace tried to be diplomatic about it. She threw rocks and hid her hands. She'd post something shady about Turning Point USA or the circumstances around Charlie's death, and then she'd turn around and tweet something praising Erika, talking about her strength, calling her a stunning example of Christian faith. But y'all, that didn't last, because the more Candace dug, the more she found. And the more she found, the less she could stay quiet.
Control. I would hope she's in full control, but I don't know because I'm hearing some stories about donors that are pushing things. I'm hearing about the pressure that's even happening with planning this event.
See, Candace was picking up on something that didn't sit right. Behind the scenes, there were allegedly powerful donors pulling strings, people with deep pockets and deeper agendas. And according to Candace, Erika wasn't just going along with it, she might have been at the center of it. Now, at first, Erika played it cool. She ignored the shade, she let her team handle the PR, she kept posting about grief and healing and moving forward. Classic widow playbook. But then Candace said something that Erika couldn't ignore. It happened on Candace's podcast, and when I tell you she went there, I mean she went all the way there.
And who had somebody record her over Charlie Kirk's casket. That was not our business, truly, and I can say that decision was made by her, and there is, some credence to the claim that everybody grieves differently. I wouldn't even record myself over a casket ever, okay? Some people maybe perhaps want to have that memory, but the decision to publish that, you crying over your husband's casket, and to publish his dead body on Instagram was a decision that was made by Erika.
Now look, we can debate whether Candace crossed a line. Some people thought it was too far. But here's the thing, she had a point. That video of Erika crying over Charlie's casket went viral. It got millions of views. And whether intentional or not, it turned a private moment of grief into a public spectacle. But more importantly, it made Erika look like the victim. And if there's one thing Candace has been trying to prove, it's that Erika might not be the grieving widow everyone thinks she is. After that podcast episode dropped, the internet exploded. People were divided. Some defended Erika, calling Candace heartless. Others said Candace was finally saying what everyone was thinking. But here's where it gets interesting. Within 48 hours of that episode going live, Erika Kirk reached out to Candace. Not through lawyers, not through PR teams. She reached out personally. And she had a proposal. Now, according to sources close to the situation, Erika contacted Candace under the guise of wanting to work things out. She posted on X saying they'd agreed to a private meeting. No live streams, no tweets, just two women sitting down to have a mature conversation. And on the surface, it looked like progress. But here's where things get shady. When Candace suggested meeting on neutral ground, somewhere neither of them had home field advantage, Erika allegedly refused. She insisted that the meeting happen at a location she chose, her turf, her rules. Now, Candace, being Candace, she agreed. She said it was a show of good faith. But looking back, that decision might have been a mistake. Because according to multiple insiders, that meeting was never about reconciliation. It was about control. Here's what allegedly went down. The meeting lasted approximately 4.5 hours. 4.5 hours of back and forth, but sources claim that for the first hour, things were relatively civil. Erika reportedly talked about her grief, about how hard it's been, about how Candace's public accusations were making her healing process even more difficult. And then, about halfway through the meeting, the tone shifted. According to these sources, Erika allegedly made Candace an offer, and not just any offer. We're talking about a financial offer, a sum of money that would allegedly make all of Candace's concerns about Charlie's death go away. In other words, Erika allegedly tried to buy Candace's silence. Now, I need to be very clear here. We don't have receipts, we don't have recordings, at least not yet, but multiple sources are confirming that this is what went down behind closed doors. And Candace, she was not having it. According to insiders, when Erika allegedly slid that offer across the table, Candace didn't even flinch. She looked at it, she looked at Erika, and then she allegedly laughed. Not a nervous laugh, not a polite chuckle, a full, dismissive, you must have lost your mind laugh. And then she allegedly said something along the lines of, you really thought you could buy me? After everything I've sacrificed? After everything I've exposed? You think money is going to stop me asking questions about what really happened to Charlie? Y'all, the tension in that room must have been suffocating. But Candace wasn't done. According to these same insiders, Candace allegedly told Erika that not only was she rejecting the offer, she was also revoking any invitation for Erika to appear on her podcast. See, there had apparently been discussions about Erika coming on Candace's show to share her side of the story, a chance to humanize yourself, to play the victim card one more time. But after that alleged bribery attempt, Candace reportedly looked Erika dead in the eyes and said, you will never set foot on my platform, and when this all comes out, the world is going to see exactly who you really are. Now, if that's not a mic drop moment, I don't know what is.
If you really care about your team, answer the questions, okay? Just demystify the entire event. Answer, come out, sit down, answer the questions so people don't think Turning Point USA looks so suspicious.
See, Candace has been saying this from the start. She's not asking for anything unreasonable. She just wants answers. And the fact that Erika allegedly responded to those questions with a bribe, that tells you everything you need to know. Now here's where the story takes an even darker turn. Remember how I told you that Candace collapsed just hours after that meeting? The photos of her being loaded into an ambulance, the mysterious medical emergency that nobody wants to talk about? Yeah, that happened after Erika allegedly tried to buy her silence and got humiliated in the process. Coincidence? Maybe, but I don't believe in coincidences. Not when the stakes are this high. Because think about it. Candace walks into a meeting on Erika's turf, she rejects an alleged bride, she humiliates Erika, she threatens to expose everything, and then, hours later, she's in an ambulance. The timing is suspicious at best, sinister at worst. And what makes it even more concerning is how quiet Candace has been since. This is a woman who gives updates in real time. She's constantly on social media, constantly on her podcast, but after that meeting, radio silence for almost an entire day. When she finally did post, fans immediately noticed something was off. One person tweeted, "They definitely did something to Candace. The post doesn't even sound like her." And honestly, I can't disagree.
Actually, while I'm attacking the feds, maybe not going to a public event, which the feds are organizing, is probably a very good idea. I'm good.
This clip is before the meeting. Candace was already scared for her safety. She was already refusing to go to events because she had intel that people wanted to harm her. And then she walks into a meeting with the one person she's been publicly accusing of being involved in a cover-up? Make it make sense. Now, let's talk about why Erika would allegedly feel desperate enough to try to buy Candace's silence. Because when you follow the money, the motive becomes crystal clear.
That is separate from the $40 million they made at Mar-a-Lago the other night. So since Charlie has died, that organization has taken in $140 million.
$140 million. Let that sink in. Since Charlie Kirk's passing, Turning Point USA has allegedly raked in over $140 million in donations. Add in the $40 million from their Mar-a-Lago event, and we're looking at nearly $180 million. And that's not even counting the book deal. Erika is reportedly releasing a book about Charlie, a book that will undoubtedly bring in millions more. So when Candace starts asking questions about what really happened to Charlie, questions that could potentially unravel this entire operation, you can see why Erika might panic. Because if the truth comes out, if it turns out that Charlie's death wasn't what we've been told, all of that money, all of those donations, all of that goodwill, gone.
This is righteous anger because this is not okay. It's not healthy. This is a mind virus. Yes, I believe in our judicial system. I do. We have a hell of a team working on.
Listen to that. Mind virus. That's what Erika calls people who ask questions. That's what she calls people who refuse to accept the official narrative without evidence. But here's my question. If everything is above board, why is she so defensive? Why is she calling concerned citizens crazy? And why would she allegedly try to bribe the one person asking the loudest questions? Now here's the part that should terrify Erika and everyone else involved in this situation. Candace didn't just reject the alleged bribe. She came prepared.
I went ahead this week and sent around a life insurance policy of sorts, a package rather, to people that I trust, a package filled with text messages, emails, private communications, videos, and private legal documents. So if anything happens to me, you guys will know exactly who it is that has been making my life a living hell over the past couple of years. People that are trying to bankrupt me and my family, that are threatening us to sue us. Everything that Kanye said was so
a dead man's switch. Candace has allegedly compiled a package of evidence, text messages, emails, private communications, videos, and legal documents that would expose everyone involved if anything happens to her. And she's already distributed it to people she trusts. So if Erika's alleged bribe was an attempt to silence Candace, it backfired spectacularly. Because now, not only is Candace still talking, she's got insurance, she's got protection, and she's got nothing left to lose. So where does this leave us? Candace Owens allegedly rejected a bribe from Erika Kirk. She humiliated her in that meeting, she kicked her off her podcast, and then she suffered a mysterious medical emergency that nobody wants to explain. Erika is pushing the narrative that Candace is crazy, that she has a mind virus, that she's just trying to profit off Charlie's death. But the numbers don't lie. Turning Point USA is the one making hundreds of millions of dollars. Erika is the one with the book deal. Erika is the one who allegedly tried to make this all go away with money. And Candace? She's the one who said no.
Neff of Turning Point USA has now come out and said that it was Erika that directed them to have this live stream. And so now I want to know, did she sign off on that letter where, we are getting now referred to as Antifa because we won't stop asking questions about what happened on 9/10?
The questions keep piling up, the contradictions keep mounting, and the more they try to silence Candace, the louder she gets. Look, I don't know what really happened in that meeting. I don't know if Erika actually slid a check across the table or just made vague promises about taking care of Candace's concerns. But what I do know is this. When someone builds a dead man's switch, refuses to back down, and then suddenly goes silent after a private meeting, something happened. And when the person they were meeting with has 180 million reasons to keep them quiet, you do the math. This story is far from over, and trust me, when more information drops, you'll hear about it here first. Drop your theories in the comments. Do you think Erika really tried to buy Candace's silence? And more importantly, what do you think is in that dead man's switch package? Hit that subscribe button because this is about to get even messier.